So video games are a thing, right?
They are.
Like people
Yes.
people play video games and such. There's a video game called Star Citizen, which I'm sure you've heard of. It's been around for like a while.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
passes $500 million in crowdfunding. Launch still not in sight.
I
Interesting.
bought this game like a month
did?
ago, or like 2 months ago, because I'm like, I hear the content is still pretty good. It's just not fully released. Like, it's still a bit buggy.
Mhm.
You need a good graphics card to run it, but there's still a decent amount of content, enough that I would pay. I think it's like $30 for the base game, maybe 40 for it.
So you didn't
And
go
I
and buy like
got
one of
it.
the $200 ships or whatever.
No, I just bought the baseline. I
Okay.
bought it, and it wouldn't launch.
Seriously?
Yeah, it would not run on my computer, and there was no like. It kept getting closed down by the anti-cheat or something. Like there was something on my computer that the anti-cheat didn't like, so
What
it
the
just
fuck?
kept crashing with no information for what was making it crash. At first, it was because I had like a virtual webcam for like Streamlabs on,
Uh-huh.
so I turned that off, but it still didn't work. So yeah, I don't fucking know. So I just refunded it. I was like, well, I was gonna give you a chance, and
Wow.
you wouldn't even the game wouldn't even launch on my computer. So
Wow.
Yeah, I remember like years and years ago, I found out like that this game is like was supposed to be coming out, but
Mm-hmm.
that it was even in the works, and I was like, this is like the perfect game. Like it looked like it was going to be incredibly fun, and I was like, wow, I was just going to go ahead and like, because you like bought your pack or whatever, and it like guaranteed you like, like a particular ship and like all this stuff
Mm-hmm.
whenever the game came out. And I was like, oh well, I'll just do this like $200 pack, and then I'll have all this shit whenever it comes out. I never did it, and I'm glad I didn't do it. But it was like one of those things where it was like, this could be really cool. And then here it is like 10 years later, and it's still not even close to being done, I guess.
Yeah. So according to this, it's been almost a decade since it was introduced, which I didn't realize it'd been that long. I mean, I knew like at least 4 or 5 years, but I didn't realize it'd been around quite that long.
remember-
And
Yeah, I remember in high school, like, I
yeah,
think was when I found out about it. But yeah.
it's pretty crazy, right? And it's had like a lot of controversy around it being a scam for a while, right? Like it's never actually going to be done. And the fact that it has $500 million in crowdfunding and it hasn't gotten into like a full release, that seems like a scam, right?
Yeah.
That seems kind of like a scam. And it's
I mean,
weird.
apparently, from what exists of the game, it's actually quite good. It's just
Really?
they'll never fucking finish it. Yeah,
Okay.
like
So-
it's actually like one of the more prominent sci-fi games, or one of the most promising sci-fi games, if they ever fucking finish the game. But
Right.
Yeah.
Frederick seems a little bit angry about this.
Well, I
yeah,
understand.
no,
But I feel like
It's
what you
just
just said is what everyone has been saying for like 5 years, right?
oh
like-
yeah.
Fully in beta mode.
Yeah, it's I guess it's one of those games that will be perpetually in early access or beta or whatever the hell it is. But it's weird because I remember back, I think it was 2017, 2018, probably 2018, when they released like that big kind of story trailer with like Mark Hamill and all these big actors, or at least Mark Hamill's big, and a pretty interesting looking story and campaign and whatnot. And now here we are in 2022, and the game still hasn't launched. Right? That's
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Yeah, it's probably not like an outright scam,
yeah.
but I feel like just a like massive scale of like mismanagement.
Mismanaged. Yeah,
Yeah, and I guess maybe that's what happens when you throw this much money at like an indie developer or whatever.
Yeah.
Because one thing like that this article discusses as well, right? You've got No Man's Sky, which granted, it released to a lot of controversy, but it did like fully release. Just kind of made promises that it wasn't able to
Yeah.
follow through on immediately. But like since like they've done an incredible job with No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
It's an incredible game.
Yeah. It's a good game.
And then I didn't realize this. Bethesda's making Starfield. So is that a similar version of like just procedurally generated space exploration or something? Or I would
I
imagine.
think that's the intention. Yeah.
I didn't know if Starfield was going to be procedurally generated or not. I've seen like a little bit on it, but
They
I thought
haven't come out and said it, but they said there's like 100 and something worlds, so it's got to
Okay.
be like
yeah, to be
somewhat procedurally generated. You can't design a whole planet 100
Yeah.
times over or whatever.
yeah.
You can.
Oh, okay. You want to give me 3 by Friday?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll do it.
he can do it. I believe in him. Also, I didn't realize this, but the cast of Squadron 42, which is like this whatever story mode of Star Citizen, it's got Mark Hamill in it, but it's also got Andy Serkis, Gary Oldman, and Henry Cavill. I didn't realize it had that many big names in it.
Probably what they're spending the $500 million
I was going
on.
to say
Probably so.
they can't make the actual game.
Yeah, they're fucking spending all this money on all these actors.
I just looked it up. The development team has 425 people on it, including contractors and
On Star
people that
Citizen?
aren't directly employed by them. Yep.
Damn. And according to this...
But that's
the-
including a lot of like random contractors. I'm guessing like
Yeah.
they probably hire like designers and stuff to make 3D models occasionally or like by contract or something.
That would make
But
sense.
yeah, when Starfield, like when they claimed they were going to get it done by the end of this year, and it was like,
Starfield
I
or
want to
Star
say
Citizen?
it was like Starfield.
Okay.
Well, when it was like May of this year, and they still hadn't released any gameplay footage,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I don't think it's coming out in November, guys.
Yeah.
What the
Probably
fuck?
not.
It's just like when you think about it, like large scale, high quality sci-fi, I feel like is so much harder to do than large scale, high quality fantasy games,
Yeah, I agree.
because like you got to do like space and ship mechanics and
Mm-hmm.
different planets and all this type of shit for it to be immersive. While fantasy is like, yeah, you're on foot, you've got a whole country. Good luck. It
It's,
takes 3 days to walk across it.
Yeah, I could see that definitely. Because then, like with the fantasy games, it's more like your environment gets like it's varied, but it's not nearly as varied as like literally different planets. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a long time, obviously, but
yeah. So mayhap, is it time? Is it time to hit the panic button on Star Citizen? 10 years down the road, is it? Do we hit the panic button? I don't know. It's a tough question to answer. It also
Yeah, I
said
don't
that
know.
Squadron 42's got like a couple more years of development on it, apparently. So this game's going to take more than a decade to release.
I don't
That's
know.
what it
I
sounds
just
like.
it is so fucking cool though. Like whenever you look at it and like look at all the things that they like say the game offer, like will offer or can offer,
Oh yeah,
it is like a badass game. Like it would be,
the scope is incredible. Like the vision
Yeah.
is there. It's just like
and then
got to
like
execute.
just the level of like detail, like all the ships and everything,
Yeah.
is fucking crazy.
Well, maybe one day when we're like in our 50s, we can play it with our grandchildren or something, or our kids, or
I'll
You know.
park the real spaceship and I'll get on my computer and play.
yeah.